One of the things I thought would be really fun to see in Stargate. It's it's an obvious thing that you think about when you think about the sizes of the ships, which is there should be a Stargate that's big but not a full hypergate, right? So there should be something like a 50-meter wide Stargate for larger for smaller ships, right? If you look at Osiris's ship, it was really small. If you look at the pyramid ships, as soon as Ra died, the pyramid ships got bigger. So historically, the gold ships must have been really, really small. So I'm thinking, if they were like the carrier ships that look like pyramids, right, that were made, I feel like the carrier ships, the small carrier ships, wouldn't have looked like pyramids originally, but would have just looked like ships, and the pyramid shape was a later addition out of the vanity of the gold, right? And I'm thinking a 50-meter Stargate setup, not in the stellar orbit, but set up near the rogue planets, right? Stargates set up by the rogue planets, where you're not coordinating exactly by the stars, but certain positions in between the stars, right? A 50-meter wide Stargate that helps you go around in your ship and blah blah blah, because the ship technology that the Goa'uld could use would have been like a popular technology, a popular utility and there would have been certain Lanteans that had really good technology and certain Lanteans that had a more basic level of technology. Goa'uld ships, it takes 15 minutes to get from star to star, whereas something like the Prometheus can go from one galaxy to another in like a month or something, or less than a month. And Atlantis was notorious for being the technological center of a civilization and blah blah blah, whatever. So a 50-meter wide Stargate really, really makes a lot of sense for me, at least. But what I really, really, really want to see is ships, right? I want to see a world where ships go through 50-meter wide Stargates, right? You have a sailing adventure and then you go through a Stargate, right? So, or like, here's your Stargate, it's floating up above you, and you contact the ring, and it goes down, and it picks you up, and it drops you off on another ocean, on another world, and all these worlds are Earth habitat compatible worlds, so you're sailing the stars in a wooden ship. I think that would be like a really badass take on Stargate, right? Like an actual sailing ship that takes you through the waters to certain spots that send you to other rogue planets that have their own ecosystem preserving technology or whatever, and you just fuck around. I think that would be like the funnest fucking show ever. Aye, matey, we are on our way to the slave planet. But I don't want to go to the slave planet. They enslaved me that time. Aye, matey, but we used this special worm thing to erase your slave marks, so you're gonna be fine. But I don't want to go to the slave planet. They enslaved me that time. Oh, be open-minded. We will get them to abolish slavery in like 200 years or something. But I really don't want to go to the slave planet, Captain. They enslaved me one time. Matey! We're in a wooden ship where you shit out the back. Or the nose. some ships you shout out the nose, some ships you shout out the ass. We're on a small wooden ship with muskets and whatever, fighting alien worms and shit, and going to other planets. Please stop being an annoying, whiny twat, and just do your job, matey. But planet... Okay, Captain, I will go to the slave planet where they enslaved me one time, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. And then the next episode, like, the guy could be, like, hanging out with hot girls wearing bikinis or something. Yeah, I think that would be, like, a really fun, like, or it doesn't even have to be in the Milky Way, right? It could be it could be in Andromeda. It could be just, here's 50-meter wide Stargates. They sometimes detach little elements of themselves in the core that makes like a little Stargate, blah, 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 whatever, blah, 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 whatever. And they still have siege ships. I think, like, yeah, that really would be fun.